But I did look up like shark attacks, because the way I view it, we're kind of fishing out the ocean. We've already fished out the ocean, and they're dragging these nets so deep. They're pulling up species of fish that they don't even have a price on it at the market. Okay, you can go on YouTube and look up recipes for these fishes, and there's no recipes because in the history we've never caught these things because they swim so deep. So my theory is that since we've fished out the ocean, that human beings have moved up on the menu. Where before we were sort of this weirdo thing on the last page, and now we've moved up to like the second course. And pretty soon we'll be an entree. And I don't mean entree as in the main dish, the way they say it in America. I mean it in France, where you're the appetizer. You're the first thing. First thing that they're going for. Entree, as in enter. You're entering the meal. Anyway, but one thing I've noticed with all of these vacation hotspots is they all say the same shit. It's always reported in a rare shark attack. Look up shark attack, and I'm telling you, the word that you're going to keep seeing is rare. A rare shark attack. So I'm like, okay, these shark attacks are rare, right? Like how they cook a steak when you ask for medium rare, it comes out rare. Most people. It's like it's not medium rare. Medium rare is a fucking lost art. I swear to God, you go to a steakhouse now, and it's either rare, medium well, and well. Nobody seems to be able to do the fucking medium rare anymore. If you ask for medium rare, it's coming out bloody. And then you'd be like, hey, I'm sorry, man, can you put this back on for a little bit longer? Then it's going to come back medium. And I always think that the cook's back there having a hissy fit. How dare you question that? I don't know what the medium rare is. I mean, how do you fuck that up? If you backyard grillers, I remember I used to work on a mesquite grill in a fucking restaurant that was rapidly going out of business, while I also was still a busboy and a dishwasher. As the restaurant went out of business, I just kept taking on more and more jobs, and they just kept giving me like 50 cents more an hour instead of paying me to do 2 jobs. I was such a moron. Like, say I was making $5 an hour back then. It was probably even less than that, minimum wage, back in the 80s, to be a busboy. And then the grill chef was making $7 an hour. He quits. I take over the grill. Now, shouldn't I be making $12 an hour? No, they gave me like $75 an hour. I'm like, boy, oh boy, a whole nother 75 cents. And then the dishwasher quit, and I did that too. And he was probably making like $4 an hour. So right there, I should have been making like $16 an hour. And instead, they were paying me like $6 an hour. I can't imagine what they said about me. Like, that's got to be the dumbest busboy, dishwasher, mesquite griller, all at the same time fucking person I've ever met in my life. But anyway, they taught me when I was making burgers. They were just like, all right, if you want to know what rare is, take your thumb and just touch it to your index finger and then touch your thumb meat. You know, like if your thumb's a drumstick, the part that you would eat on a drumstick, you just touch it right there and then touch the meat. It should feel like that. You touch your middle finger, that's like more like, medium rare, medium. And then your ring finger with your thumb, that's like medium well. And then your pinky, that's well done. Now, granted, that also depends on the thickness of the meat. Ladies, right? Then you kind of got to go low and slow with it or whatever. But I mean, I remember learning that. I've never really fucked that up, unless it's been like what's really hard is a filet mignon. You know what I mean? I've never really understood how to try to cook that thing. You know, if somebody wants it medium, you know, what ends up happening is by the time it's all gray, there's no pink left. Like the outside is like kind of fucking. You know, Christ, you cooked the shit out of it. Anyway, so they say that these shark attacks are fucking rare. So I started looking at the numbers. Now, I'm not trying to fuck with any country's tourism here. And why wouldn't they? When women go out of the country, they feel like they're no longer being judged, right? And they can kind of get, a little loose with it. This is what I've heard. I've heard like that as far as like their number, how many people you've banged, they don't count people outside the country. They try to keep the number down because of the double standard. There's a double standard. How come when a guy does it, he's a stud? If a woman does it, she's a hooah? I used to do a bit about that. Well, it all comes down to degree of difficulty. Guys have to convince people. That's why it's impressive. You got laid last night? What did you say? Right? Sorry. This podcast is just all over the road. So they keep saying that. I'm going to get through this thought at some point. They keep saying that shark attacks are rare. A rare shark attack. So I looked up the Caribbean or the Caribbean. Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? Tomato? Bangles? They said in the Caribbean, they average 20 to 30 a year. That's not rare. That's like, almost 3 a month. 2 to 3 a month. That's not rare. They never said, come to the Bahamas and swim in waters where we average 2 to 3 shark attacks per month. Most of them are just nibbles. I love when they say that, like, they go like, they don't want to eat you. They're just sort of curious. Oh, is that what it is? I don't want a curious bite from a shark. Hey, what happened to that section of your leg? It seems to be, there's a little void there on the back of your thigh where your hamstring used to be. Oh, a tiger shark was he was just curious. I'll tell you, they're inquisitive little devils, those sharks. There is no goddamn way. There is no fucking way until the fish come back. The fish come back at night. The fish come back at night. Until the fish come back. The fish come back. Minister! Until the fish fucking come back and those goddamn sharks have something to eat. I am calling it right now. All right, you want to bet the over on shark attacks. Australia says they average 20 a year. 20 attacks a year. But then they downgrade them. They 20 rare. Okay, let me ask you this. If you did heroin twice a year, would you say your heroin use was rare? Listen, I only nod off like twice a month. Do you shoot drugs? Yes, but only 20 to 30 times a year. I have to be honest with you, though. Like, are you addicted? Oh, my God. Am I going to look that up? Are you addicted if you do heroin 30 times a year? That'd be a fucking great thing to say in rehab. How come all we do is talk about the month where I did it? What about the 335 days where I didn't do it? Hello? Hello, exactly. I got to look that up. At what point are you addicted? At what point will I stop picking this recorder up and setting it back down again on the floor? All right. While I look this up, enjoys Tears for Fears. You better be Zabade. Zabade, woman in chains. How many times a year before you are addicted? The science of addiction. John Hopkins. Johnny Hops. Learn more about addiction. How long does it take to break the habit of addiction? All right, let's see what we say. This is the wrong fucking. It takes 21 days to break an addiction. The old belief that it took 21 days to change habit has now been labeled a myth. Yeah, like the earth being round. According to psychologists, while it may take approximately 21 days of conscious and consistent effort to create a new habit, it takes far longer to break an existing habit. Well, then, you know what? I bet a lot of people who go to the beach go, Bill, 20 to 30, like millions of people go into the fucking, right? That's what they say. All right, which I understand. I do understand that. But like, you know, when what we're talking about is being eaten alive, you know, I still don't like those percentages. I'm just saying that. You know what I mean? And a lot of you guys who are like fucking beachgoers and anti-vaxxers, you know, use the opposite thing when you decided not to get vaccinated. You'd be like, well, fucking there was somebody in fucking Tupelo, Mississippi who got the booster shot and all of a sudden they fucking robbed a liquor store, right? That shit made sense to you. Right? It's all about crunching the number. Maybe that's what it is. It's just crunching the number. You don't want to get the vaccine, so you're just going to focus on people that had a bad reaction to it, and then people that want the vaccine and be like, but look at all the people that didn't. And it's the same thing with beachgoers. And I'm afraid of the ocean, so all I'm going to do is look at the shark. Look at that. I learned something from you, and you learned something from me. So maybe it is. Maybe that's the thing. How many people go to the Caribbean each year? Caribbean destination received an estimated 32 million. And so it's literally 1 in a million, 1.3 million. Okay, how many people go to the Caribbean each year versus how many get bitten by a shark? Yearly worldwide shark, you know what? Nobody's going to have these nobody's going to give me the stats that I need. You know why? Because they're afraid of the results. The ISAF. Is that literally the International Shark Attack File? Hey, big boy, what do you do for a living? I work for the ISAF. Is that a branch of the military? No. It goes beyond these borders, sweetheart. It's the International Shark Attack File. That sounds exciting. The Florida Museum of Natural History's International Shark Attack File investigated 137 alleged shark-human interactions worldwide in 2021. They're still calling them alleged. You fucking show up, you don't have a calf anymore. Got bitten by a shark, or so you say. Jesus Christ, how much money are the shark lobby, throwing at fucking politicians to get them to look the other way? Even sharks are into payola. ISAF confirms 73 unprovoked shark bites on humans and 39 provoked bites. Okay, unprovoked bites. I think the second you go in the ocean, you're provoking. Unprovoked bites are defined as incidents in which a bite on a live human. See, look at... Look how they're already starting to crunch these numbers and frame it, trying to make a ball to strike. A bite on a live human, as opposed to what? Some mob hit with a big pussy who got thrown in the fucking ocean? That one doesn't count. Unprovoked, oh my God, how psyched were they when Big Pussy got thrown in? They probably didn't appreciate that with what they thought was a seal was wearing a tracksuit and sneakers. Unprovoked bites are defined as incidents in which a bite on a live human occurs in the shark's natural habitat with no human provocation of the shark. Do you see how many loopholes are in that? The shark's natural habitat is the ocean. All right? I mean, it's not walking down the street like the old SNL land shark shit, right? What is a shark's natural habitat? Oh, this is some slippery political shit here. What is a shark's, quote, natural habitat? There we go. Somebody else asked. They are found in just about every kind of ocean habitat, including the deep sea, open sea, coral reefs, and under the Arctic ice. Wherever they live, sharks play an important role in ocean ecosystems, especially the larger species that are more scary to people. They put, quote, scary, as if you're not really scared, as if it's your issue. All right, provoked bites occur when a human initiates interaction with the shark in some way. These include instances when divers are bitten after harassing or trying to touch sharks, bites on spearfishers, bites on people attempting to feed sharks, bites occurring while unhooking or removing a shark from a fish net, and so forth. Of the remaining 25 cases, 4 involved bites to motorized or non-motorized marine vessels, boat bites, and 1 involved shark-inflicted post-mortem bites. Scavenge. Oh, like if you drowned. Oh, I get it. 5 cases were regarded as doubtful or incidents that did not likely involve the shark. These included 1 case attributed to a stingray, 3 attributed to bony fish. Don't they all have bones? And 1 to injury associated with scraping against a rock. Yeah, that's something I would do. I'd scrape against a rock and I'd be like, shark! Get everybody to go back to the beach. In a single case, the nature of the incident was unclear with the available data. An additional 14 cases could not be confirmed as a shark-human interaction. Yeah. I feel like they're sort of spinning the numbers down. But anyway, by all means, if you enjoy the beach, don't listen to me. If you enjoy Tears for Fear, don't listen to me.